Yeah, hey everybody, this is Ian from Mindful Marketplace. It's May 3rd, 2022, and this is the final audio in the Tiny Revolution series that we've been doing for the last month or so, where essentially I'm sharing tiny ideas for making an oversized impact in 2022 and beyond. And again, this is for authors, artists, digital media brands, community builders, really anybody who is aspiring to turn a passion project into a profitable platform and wants to do it on a tiny budget. So for this final audio, what I wanted to actually cover is a really great strategy for building micro directories or tiny resource libraries or little Yelp-like communities that give you an incredible amount of flexibility to build your brand as an online agency or to create little assets that you can sell or just to create a really almost an empire of micro directories that you can do all sorts of cool and creative things with, including, using those sites to sell, let's say, agency style services. Let's say you're building a marketing company that focuses on realtors or CPAs or financial advisors, and you're looking for clients to actually sell marketing services, let's say web design or email marketing, social media marketing, etc. One of the quintessential strategies for actually accomplishing that obviously is having an authority site, having a directory or some sort of, kind of niche community that you own that you can give folks priority of placement on the site if they sign up for your services, right? All things being equal, obviously, if I'm selling a realtor marketing, social media marketing service, and you're selling a social media service, and really we're about the same in terms of skill and ability and price and all that stuff, but I own a local directory that has 100 local realtors that gets a good amount of traffic and you don't, I'm going to get the business quite simply because that realtor or CPA or financial advisor is going to see all the various ways I can promote them on a site that is already authoritative or has some local cachet in a niche, market, vertical, locality, etc. All right, so we've covered this a zillion and one times in the past. I don't want to cover it here. But what I want to actually recommend, if you're somebody who has really struggled to implement this model in the past, because maybe you don't like WordPress or the themes that are available or the ways in which you've been able to use plugins has been limited, or lots of these directory style themes on WordPress and plugins and all that sort of stuff are difficult to use, right? I mean, WordPress is not made for that sort of site, and these themes and plugins actually hack or modify WordPress in a way to make all of this possible. So it's not really a natural it's not WordPress's natural habitat, and I'm certainly not a WordPress expert or a tech expert at all, but even having a fair amount of skill and familiarity over the years, just by dint of brute force, I've learned how to use these themes and plugins. It's always still a pain in the ass, as the years kind of move on. So because plugins change, themes go out of business, or theme authors kind of quit, or they leave the ecosystem, and you can just get stuck, having to create a whole new thing from scratch when the theme that you bought in 2019 is no longer being supported in 2022. So here is a really simple workaround that I highly recommend that I'm actually doing now with a single virtual assistant. I'm not even working on this, but I'm having her actually do the directories. It's very, very easy. It applies to any sort of micro community you can imagine. You can do this for affiliate products. You can do this for local real estate agents, for local restaurants, for books that you love, movies. It doesn't matter. And the tool is called Beacon, and they have this really cool feature called resource libraries that allows you to create these directories. They're really directories more than, resource library is just a euphemism in some way for a collection of content, a directory of resources, or profiles, products, people, it doesn't really matter. You can actually set these up on Beacon and do an unlimited amount of these sorts of sites, and you're only constrained by your imagination. Like, for an example, if you wanted to add 20 course communities that you're an affiliate for, so let's say something like Podia, Circle, Tribe, Heartbeat, Mighty Networks, all those sorts, Discord, all of those sorts of software as a service, community building, tools that you can be an affiliate for and promote. You could create a simple resource library of just those, and all you're doing is adding your affiliate link into the add resource button within Beacon, and it populates the URL, and the metadata comes through, so you have a picture and the content, and it really builds the site for you, with very little manual intervention. Sometimes it doesn't pull the data properly, so you have to actually change the picture or add your own picture, or you might need to actually write your own sort of blurb or whatever, but generally that's not the case. So we've done this in a bunch of different little niches. You can also add your own products. You can create resource libraries that are formulated just with your own content, right? You can link to your own blog posts. You can upload PDFs. You can link to YouTube videos. For an example, if you look at our YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, actually, I have like 200 videos on this channel that I could just create a resource library of 20 of the most popular videos and just send people to that landing page. And then they would get a sense of who I am in the world, what my thoughts are, what my, skills may or may not be predicated on what they can hear, and see me saying about work in the world, right? So you could do this for podcasting. There's really no limit to what you can do with a tool like Beacon. It really simplifies the entire process, and I highly recommend it. And it's great for tiny communities, right? Tiny resource libraries, tiny directories. They don't need to be these complicated sort of, exotic sites with all these plugins and all this fancy kind of, whatevers, right? I mean, lots of these WordPress directories get too cute by half, and you end up like struggling with the tools and the tech rather than doing the actual marketing and site building and all that good stuff. So what I'm planning on doing, actually, I have a person who's working on this now, and I'm going to actually do a cohort in May where we'll be building one of these a day. I'm not even going to do it. She's going to do it, and she has no experience. So I'm going to be recording tutorials for her that you'll get access to, and then you'll watch as somebody literally live in the world builds these sites that we'll then use in a number of ways. I mean, I could sell them. You can build these on your own custom URLs, the Beacon resource libraries. You can also embed them on other sites. If you're, running like a Circle community or any Ghost community, you can embed like profiles that are, you can actually take those resource libraries with you and post them in different sites. So there's a portability factor that's really, really sweet. So anyway, all that, I'm looking at my dog who's eating something on the floor. What are you eating, baby? All right, so I think it was a piece of broccoli. Anyway, so if you're interested in joining us for this, we'll be running these small cohorts in May with people who are interested in building this sort of business on a bootstrap budget. It's very cool, very easy to do, and can be completely transformative. I mean, you could literally do one of these a day and then sell services to, you could build, realtor, communities in, every town in your state, for an example, then just be the preeminent real estate marketing person in New Jersey or New York or Florida or wherever. Or you could do this for sushi restaurants or realtors or financial advisors or CPAs or doctors, therapists, mental health professionals, you name it, you can do it. We're doing some of this for mindfulness-based content now, books, courses that we're using affiliate links for, and you can really just go nuts with your imagination, and it's really easy. It's fun work. They look pretty. I'll have some examples that you can see if you're interested in seeing what some of these look like. I have a good collection of our own resource libraries, as well as others that I've tracked down in the world to kind of copy the design and the sort of, the look and feel that I want to apply to our own stuff as well. Anyway, this is the last audio as part of this whole series. Some of you have been with us from the beginning. Others are just kind of stumbling on one of these videos or audios one at a time. But there's a lot of content here for building a brand, a business, and really doing it all on a bootstrap budget, which is super, I think, exciting and fun and ethical, and the antithesis of some of the kind of overhyped, nonsensical, superficial silliness that all of us see, being promoted everywhere online. We're also launching, as many of you know, a book publishing platform called A Tiny Book About, where we're taking small, tiny topics and writing, little books that hopefully inspire and empower and uplift others to experience things that are, good for us, right? Mental health, mindfulness, spiritual growth and development, and all those sorts of things. So if you're interested in writing a tiny book in 2022 and want to do it in a supportive community, get in touch, mindfulmarketplace@gmail.com. This is a private community that we're launching. So if you're interested in joining that, I will send you some details. Okie doke. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. Thank you everyone so much for listening to this whole series. If you have, and if you have any questions, as always, reach out and let me know. Thanks.